You wake up and unlock your phone. Within seconds, hundreds of faces appear on the screen. A swipe to the left, a swipe to the right, a photograph, a short bio, a decision made in less than a heartbeat. It feels like one of the most modern experiences imaginable. But beneath every swipe, every first date, every racing heartbeat, something much older is at work. Long before cities, before weddings, before written vows or even spoken promises, our ancestors were choosing who they would trust with their future and with their survival. For them, choosing the wrong partner wasn't simply heartbreaking. It could be fatal. So how did ancient humans decide who was worth building a life with? Long before love songs, dating apps, or even civilization existed. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a small group gathered around a fire at the edge of an open valley. The smell of roasted meat drifted through the cool evening air. Children chased each other between the shadows, while elders quietly repaired worn animal hides with bone needles. Sparks floated upward, disappearing into a sky crowded with stars. Among them sat a young hunter, his eyes fixed not on the fire, but on a woman across the camp. She laughed as she helped an older woman carry bundles of firewood. A small child tugged at her arm, and she smiled before lifting the child into her lap. The hunter noticed every small movement. Not because he was searching for beauty alone. He was searching for clues. Could she be trusted? Would she remain calm during danger? Would she care for others when food became scarce? Would she stay when life became difficult? Without realizing it, he was asking questions that millions of people still ask today. For ancient humans, attraction was never just about appearance. It was about survival. A partner wasn't someone you spent weekends with. It was someone who might walk beside you for hundreds of dangerous journeys, share the last piece of food during a harsh winter, protect your children while you searched for game, and help you survive injuries that would otherwise mean death. Every choice carried enormous consequences. A poor hunter could leave a family hungry. An unreliable partner might disappear when hardship arrived. Someone who struggled to cooperate with the group could place everyone at risk. Choosing wisely meant increasing the chances that your children would live long enough to have children of their own. And over thousands of generations, those choices quietly shaped the human mind. The next morning, the hunting party disappeared into the tall grass. Hours passed, the air grew warmer, the valley fell silent. Back at camp, the young woman worked beside the others, gathering edible roots and repairing woven baskets. She wasn't waiting helplessly. In many ancient communities, gathering plants, nuts, fruits, and small animals provided a substantial and reliable portion of the group's food, sometimes even more dependable than hunting large game. As the afternoon stretched on, distant voices echoed across the valley. The hunters had returned, but something was wrong. One man limped heavily, leaning on another for support. Blood stained his leg where a sharp stone had torn through the skin. Without hesitation, several people rushed toward him. The young woman knelt beside the injured hunter and pressed clean moss against the wound while another heated water near the fire. No one asked whose responsibility it was. Helping each other was survival. The young hunter watched quietly. Strength had impressed him before. Now something else caught his attention. Compassion. For years, scientists believed humans primarily chose partners based on physical traits or hunting ability. But evidence from anthropology, evolutionary psychology, and studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies paints a more complex picture. Humans are unusual among mammals because raising children takes an exceptionally long time. A human child remains dependent for many years, far longer than the young of most other animals. That meant cooperation became one of our greatest evolutionary advantages. A reliable partner wasn't valuable for a single season. They could influence the survival of a family for decades. Qualities like kindness, trustworthiness, emotional stability, generosity, and the willingness to share resources became powerful signals. Not because they sounded admirable, but because they helped children survive. Even today, across many cultures, people consistently rank kindness, honesty, and dependability among the qualities they value most in long-term partners. Those preferences may echo challenges our ancestors faced tens of thousands of years ago. As evening returned, the camp grew louder. Someone struck two stones together, sending sparks onto dry grass. Children laughed as flames climbed into the night. An elder began telling a story of a hunt from many winters before. The young hunter finally walked toward the woman. He stopped a few steps away. She looked up. "You carried him all the way back," she said. "He would have done the same for me," he replied. She smiled. Not because he sounded brave, because his answer revealed something deeper. In a world where survival depended on one another, loyalty could be more attractive than confidence. But finding a partner wasn't always peaceful. Sometimes several young men competed for the attention of the same woman. Sometimes families formed alliances. Sometimes people chose partners from neighboring groups, strengthening social connections and reducing the risks of inbreeding. These relationships created networks that could provide food, shelter, and support during difficult times. Love, in the modern sense, wasn't separate from survival. It was woven into it. Every shared meal, every successful hunt, every act of generosity, every moment of courage was quietly answering a question no one needed to ask aloud. Can I trust you with my future? That question has never disappeared. It simply changed its surroundings. Today, we may meet in cafes instead of camps, exchange messages instead of stories around a fire, and hold smartphones instead of stone tools. Yet beneath every conversation, every laugh, every moment of vulnerability, the human brain is still searching for familiar signals. Can this person be trusted? Will they stay during difficult times? Will they protect rather than abandon? Will they build a future with me? The technology is new. The instincts are ancient. Tonight, somewhere in the world, two people will meet for the first time. They'll notice a smile, a voice, a gesture of kindness, a moment of honesty. It may feel like a completely modern story, but in ways neither of them can see, their minds are following pathways shaped by countless generations who learned that choosing the right partner wasn't just about finding love. It was about finding someone worth facing the darkness beside.